A long time ago, roughly 7 to 8 years I'd say, I would have agreed with anyone who said that Call of Duty was the best online shooter experience. I loved Ghost, Advanced Warfare was good, World War II was solid enough to play, and Black Ops 4, while massively disappointing, had Blackout, which was my personal favorite VR to date. But somewhere along the way, COD lost its way. I don't know if it's because I grew up, or the people who made my favorites no longer work there, or if they simply started making garbage to make a quick buck, but it seems to me at least that with the exception of Modern Warfare 2019 and Cold War, there hasn't really been a good COD game in a while, and I'll be honest, I have no hopes for Black Ops 6. Am I being harsh? Well, maybe, sure, but tell me that there's no difference between the feel of Black Ops 2 and what we have today. It's a completely different feel. It's a completely different environment. This leads me into XDefiant, a free-to-play 6v6 faction shooter. It's fast, it's hectic, it's free, and most importantly, it's actually fun. Now, before we kick everything off, I need to say I'm in no way sponsored, I'm in no way a games critic. Do not take my words to heart. Do whatever you want with this. If you end up playing the game because of this, I'm happy. If you don't, so be it. I just need you all to know that I'm doing this of my own free will. There's no one holding a gun to my head yet. The game itself is pretty simple. Making loadouts and choosing which faction you want to play. Guns are pretty simple. There's a decent selection here. Assault rifles, submachine guns, shotguns, marksman rifles, and sniper rifles, with handguns being the entirety of your secondary selection. You unlock them based on challenges completed, which is a great way of doing it over the usual progression system, and each weapon has its own attachments that are unlocked by level. I'd have liked attachments to be unlocked off of challenges as well, but hey, sometimes the player is wrong and levels are the better way. For factions, you have 6 choices as of right now. More will probably show up in later updates, but right now you just get 6. Cleaners from the Division, who specialize in damage over time with their incendiary bullets, and their choice of either a drone that spits flames, or a Molotov cocktail that you drop at your feet, and then their ultimate, the good old flamethrower. Phantoms from Ghost Recon, who specialize in defense and have extra health as a passive, a choice between a stationary plasma shield they can shoot through, or a ballistic shield, and their ult, the Aegis, a plasma dome shield and a shotgun. Next up is the Libertad from Far Cry 6, who specialize in healing and have passive healing, a choice between an AoE ability that boosts health and your regen, or a healing gas grenade that heals for the next 25 seconds, their ultimate, which gives a large health boost and massive regen in a specific area. The 4th Echelon from Splinter Cell make an appearance. They specialize in intel. They don't appear on enemy radar as a passive, and their 2 gadgets are intel suits, which tell you and your teammates where the enemies are, or the ability to turn invisible, with their ult being the ability to mark everyone and hunt them down with the signature 5-7. I especially hate this faction as they serve as a constant reminder that we'll never get a new Splinter Cell game. DedSec from Watch Dogs specialize in hacking. Their passive ability is a decrease in cooldown for tools, while the tools themselves are a spider bot that grabs and stuns enemies, and hacking enemy tools to make them yours. Their ult is disabling the enemy HUD, minimap, and abilities in the immediate area. And finally, GSK from Rainbow Six, specializing in area denial with electric barbed wire, an active defense system which shoots throwables out of the air, and their ult being a tactical shield to flash enemies and beat them after. As you can see, each faction is different. Different styles of play, different effects, hell, even your announcer is different depending on which faction you're playing.
Your mission is to secure the capture zone.
They're taking Zone B.
Currently there are 7 game modes in the game as well: Domination, Escort, Hotshot, Occupy, Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and Zone Control. All 7 are stacked and have plenty of maps in rotation, and each are as frantically paced as the last. So, now that you're up and gunning, enjoy it. Personally, I play Cleaners a lot due to their fire passive and the fire drone. I've been running an MP7 with these attachments and a 6.86 because I love myself a big iron. And overall, I'd say that while it's not God's gift to loadouts, it keeps me set and I enjoy it enough to keep using it. Audibly, the game works pretty well. Callouts, gunfire, and other sound cues can be heard well. My only real complaint with it, overall, is just that sometimes when I walk, I feel like I'm hearing 2 sets of feet coming from my character. Or maybe there's just a really good ninja around. I'm not really sure. Gun sounds are good. They don't have the punch that something like Trepang 2 has, but I know what I'm hearing and it feels good to shoot, so I've got no complaints. Speaking of guns, the actual gunplay feels tight. When I shoot someone, it hits. I don't tag someone 55 times only for it to count 12. Base sensitivity needs to go up, but that's really the worst of it. Assault rifles and SMGs feel different enough to justify their existences. Shotguns are murderous up close, and a sniper rifle is terrifying when you're against someone who knows what they're doing with it. The only negative thing I have to say about the guns overall is that I think the AA-12 is a little underpowered. Maybe that's just me though, but yeah. Aesthetically, the game is solid. It won't blow your socks off like Elden Ring does, but it definitely isn't anything to look away from. Each map is unique in its design, most likely due to each map being from separate IPs, but it's still nice to see some variation. And just to reiterate, all of this is free. There's no guns you're locked out of unless you pay. Every one of them is unlocked through challenges. Every faction is immediately accessible, and if they are locked, it's not unlocked by money. They can be unlocked if you're willing to grind them out. You don't need to put a single dollar into this game unless you really want to. Is there a battle pass? Obviously. Is there a store? Definitely. But is any of this required? Do I need to pour money into it so I can play the same maps as my friends and have the same equipment? Not at all. Just play about 15 matches and you can have most of the things that you actually want. Now for some bad stuff, because I wouldn't be fair if I left it out. There are some problems with latency. I'll be around a quarter completely and still get killed sometimes, but I think that could probably be solved later. Sidearms are kind of lacking, only 6 weapons and that's all. I understand half the time you won't be alive long enough to need to switch to it, but, well, variety is the spice of life for a reason. And lastly, I wish there were more maps for Escort. There's only 3 right now, but it'd be nice to get, I don't know, 2 or 3 more? But overall, the game is solid, and I'm excited for its future. I'd like some more guns, maybe some more throwables, and definitely some dumb stuff. Add some spears, I don't know. Far Cry Primal was a thing. I also want to see what new IPs they put into this. Assassin's Creed maybe? Rayman Rabbids? I don't know, fucking Just Dance? I don't know, but there's possibilities and I can't wait to see them. It's surprising that Ubisoft, the people almost universally synonymous at this point with the word disappointment, came out with something this good though. If they keep it up, I have no problem singing their praises. They'll have earned it at that point. Anyway, that's all I really have for now. Thanks for taking a look at this video, it means a lot to me. I'm sorry this took so long. Between moving, a funeral, and losing the cord to my recording mic, I haven't really been able to do anything, so I do apologize. While you're here, feel free to watch another video. I have plenty in my catalog, and if you'd be so inclined, maybe subscribe to the channel? At the time of writing this, we're up to 296, which means we're 4 away from 300, and that means we get to put a certain someone in a maid outfit. So yeah, please tip us over the edge. Join the Discord too. I'll see ya.